Good morning, beautiful sisters, and to all of our listeners. Joe, how are you guys? Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!
You guys have a good New Year's?
Mm-hmm. Yes,
New Year's
definitely.
Eve, I guess. Yeah?
Yeah, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, we kept it small and intimate, wrote out our goals. So it was really nice.
Awesome.
We had fun. We hung out with George and Stephanie and the kiddos.
Woo woo. Shout out to George and Stephanie, the darlings.
The darlings.
We introduced Mario Kart to our children from our old-fashioned Wii. Our Wii's from like 2009 or something, but it still works. And Anders loves it, and he is hooked. We let him stay up till like 11 playing Mario Kart, so that was fun.
Oh, I love that. Mario is the best.
Yeah, so that was a lot of fun. I'm glad you guys had a good New Year's Eve. I want to get right to it. I want to hear about your 2022 goals. I want to talk about it. I want to see if you have vision boards or what your vision is for the future, because I am so excited for this. I think 2022 is going to be awesome. I think it's going to be one of our best years yet. And I want to talk about it and talk about our visions and support each other and our goals. And so I do have a quote that I found by Bill Kopland, who's an American poet and writer. And I love this double meaning of this quote. He said, "The trouble with not having a goal is that you can spend your life running up and down the field and never score."
I love that. I love double meaning. Any sports analogy, I am down for.
Yeah, I mean, it's so true, because I feel like for my whole life, I would just say, because the way my name is spelt, I always attributed my name with Nike. And so I always just thought, just do it. It's just like a part of who I am is just do it. I never set goals ever, ever, ever until the last just couple years, really. I mean, I would say I would do things, but I never wrote them down and I never stuck to them. And I'm only recently learned, and I'm 31 years old, that writing down your goals gives you a direction and gives you a purpose and propels you forward and helps you to accomplish things, which then you can build off of. Otherwise, like you said, we're just running up and down the field like headless chickens, like going, woo, life is fun, but not actually doing anything.
I love that.
I think it's important to commit. For me, goals have always been hard. It wasn't until last year that I really saw the benefits of goals. But usually, when I would say I was going to change, I was going to do something, I was going to quit something, whatever, it suddenly became overwhelming, and I would give up several times. And so I just wouldn't write it down. I was like, nope, it's becoming too real. I can't do it. It's too real. But last year we wrote goals, we made our vision boards, and I saw it every single day. And even days that I didn't do amazing at it, or I went like weeks without doing something, I still saw it. It was still a commitment that I saw every single day. I'm like, well, I got to keep doing it. Like, can't just toss my vision board. So.
Exactly. Yeah, you keep yourself accountable. And for me, the language that I have in my brain is like, no, I have to do this because I wrote it down. It's in my calendar. I have to do it. And it'll be so specific, like do 20 minutes of an aerobic exercise on Wednesday morning at 6 a.m. or something like that. And so when Wednesday morning comes, I'm like, oh, it's on my calendar. I got to do it. It's scheduled. And so I found that it's really important to schedule with yourself as well. So let's talk about it. Let's start with Johanna. Show me your goals.
Hold on.
Did you complete your dare?
I did, but I liked what you just said, so I'm going to write it down real fast.
Yes, schedule yourself, be specific. I also have this cool, let me see if I can get it. It's just right here.
Yes, but
Ow, ow.
Okay, sorry.
She can't hear us.
We're cat calling you, checking you out.
Oh, I couldn't hear you. You're in my headphones. That's funny. Okay, so I want to show you something before we get started, because I think this is really helpful, and maybe I can make these available to people. But at work, we use these things called a 135 and a 411, I think. Anyway, it's a sheet, and you have your big goal, your big annual goal. Then these are your month. Oh, wait, sorry. That's not right. Okay, well, anyway, this will help you with project management. I have another form that's like your annual goal, your monthly goals, and your weekly goals. This is specific for each goal. So my other paper, you list all your goals. This is then you list what your goal is, like yoga on Wednesday morning at 6. Then you list how you're going to do that. Find a video. Then you're gonna write the steps, like schedule, set your alarm, tell Dan, have an accountability person, and track your progress or something like that. So for every goal, you have a project management paper so that you know what you're doing, instead of going, oh, I have this goal. Okay, well, I'm going to start working on it. What do I do first? You already plan out the steps of how you're going to accomplish that goal, and you can tweak it. It doesn't have to be the same thing every time, but this is something we use at work and that I'm going to use for my personal goals as well. Like I said, scheduling it, being specific, but then also coming up with those plans of how I'm going to accomplish that goal.
I love this so much. Being specific and writing it out makes such a big difference. And you had mentioned before, your quote, and I feel like I used to not. I love to write. It's so funny. I love to write. I write all the time, but I wouldn't write down my goals because it did become too real, if that made sense. And if I wrote them down, that means I had to do them. And that was overwhelming. And I thought, well, I'm not ready to share this with anyone, so I'm not going to write it down, and I'll just keep it inside. And that's where it lived for a very long time.
Yeah, exactly. So if you guys want these, I could probably send you digital copies if you think that would be helpful to you.
Oh, totally. Yes.
Awesome. All right. So Johanna, did you complete the dare?
Yes. I did not create my vision board yet because I usually do that with Kaden. But I wrote it all down. I have it right here.
Awesome.
So I was kind of just writing down my thoughts as I was going, but basically my big 3 that I want to work on. So with Kaden going back to school, we're going to need another source of income. So I decided that I want to create another successful source of income. That's our big one. I want to study daily. I think it's so important to have my mind grow every single day, whether that's spiritually or educationally, like like with news or with my kids or whatever. I just want to study daily. And then my third one is consciousness. I want to be more aware. And that's kind of more like a broad statement. I want to be aware of my surroundings, aware of people's needs, my kids' needs, my needs. I want to make sure that when I'm getting my self-care time, I'm truly clocking out and then clocking back in. I want to be aware of like my health. I want to make sure that I am being conscious of the things I'm putting into my body. And same with my kids. And when they need me, I want to kind of like check in with myself. Like sometimes it can be overwhelming when my kids are like, Mom, play with me. And I feel like they're pulling me at 1,000 directions. So I want to like clock in with myself, check in with myself and say, okay, you're okay. You can do this, instead of just immediately getting overwhelmed because it's a lot. So I know that last one was a lot, but it is only 3.
No, that's awesome. Those are great goals.
Yeah, so I just want to make sure I got those. So be more aware, another source of income. And what was the other one?
Study daily.
Study daily.
So those are really great goals, and I think you're going to rock at it for sure. They're also very broad, and so you'll want to have those like specific steps of how you're going to do that, and you could schedule out like study the Bible every few days, study health these days, or something like that. You can, however you want to do it, but when you make it specific and let your partner know, then they can help you as well. But you're gonna rock at it. That's awesome.
Thank you.
What was some other goals that weren't part of your big three?
I guess it goes into more detail. So I started off, like, I wrote goals that each member of my family has. So Kaden, finish school, me, successful income. Olive, she's only 3, so I really want to progress her education. So I have like specifics, like get her letters and numbers and writing and sounds. And Holland's only 1, so I wrote down I want her to be more proficient at talking and signing, and get her back to sleeping at night. She's actually currently awake. She's not supposed to be. And then I have like balanced meals. I want to exercise daily. I want to play daily. I don't want to just sit and relax all the time and anytime I need a break, but I want to actually have enjoyment and entertainment other than TV. And then I want to be more patient. I feel like this year might be a tough year. It will be a good year, but I think it's going to be a tough year. And so I think if I have patience, I'm going to be able to go a little more smoothly through whatever comes my way. And then I want to seek for understanding before I get angry. I get angry so quick. And so and that goes along with patience. I just want to take a deep breath and just seek for understanding, be patient with myself and others. And I think with any of my goals, I'll be able to accomplish them.
Awesome. Those are all really great.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'm really impressed. You have so much thought put into this. And often when people put their goals together, I feel like it's make more money, get fit. And that's kind of it. Those are the 2 things that most people focus on. And your goals are very dynamic. And so I'm very impressed as well.
Thank you.
And very specific, like seeking first to understand before getting angry is very specific and has to do with your self-improvement, which is awesome because a lot of people don't care to improve their behavior or their self. So that's awesome.
Thank you.
All right, Bretagne, let's have it. I saw some of your goals already because you did a big reveal on social media. So I'd like to see some more. Let's talk about it.
I did do a big reveal. I have a friend who has encouraged me to not only, write my goals and to be specific, but to share them, because if you keep them to yourself, then you're keeping them kind of from the universe. And so just keep putting them out there, put them out there. So as soon as I had them completed, I wanted to say, hey, keep me accountable. These are my goals. This is what I'm going after. So for me, anytime I can refer to a sport analogy or make something kind of like a tree, those are my 2 go-tos. And so I envision a tree with my goals. I have a mantra, which is my trunk. And it is my overall theme for the year. And then I have 5 roots or 5 divisions of my life. And then within those, even more roots branching out. And it just branches out continuously, being more specific and more detailed. So I'm going to share my overall mantra, and then I'll just share a couple of my goals because I have a lot of them.
I love that analogy. That's so awesome.
Oh, thank you.
Trees are like your thing because like you have those beautiful paintings of trees. There's so much symbolism in trees. I feel like your next tattoo should be a tree or something because
Yes.
it's so cool. Anyway, go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's funny you say that. One of my other good friends got me a gift, and it had to do with trees. And they said anytime that they see a beautiful tree or they see a picture of a tree, they think of me. So yeah, trees are my thing. I love trees.
Cool.
Okay, so my mantra for the year is, and you've heard some of this before because of this and the progress that we're doing here together. I do what I want to do. Everything I do is preparing me for my dreams, and I am confidently creating my world.
I love that. Confidently creating my world. That part really stands out to me. Not only because it has cool alliteration, confidently creating, I'm big on alliteration, but also it's true because we do create our world. Perception is everything, and we have more control of our life and our future than I think people realize. And so saying that, I assume, are you going to say it like every day? Is this something that you recite?
Every day.
So I'm confidently creating my world every day, and it will become more and more true. That's so great.
I love the very beginning when you say, I do what I want to do. I'm like, heck yeah.
Do what I want to do.
It's just sometimes, Bretagne, you have this personality to please everybody. And so you do what other people want to do. And I'm sometimes that way too, especially with my kids, like play with me. And I'm like, I want to do what I want to do. So I love that you said that.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. And I need that. I know myself well enough that I need to give myself these tricks and these tools to be successful. And so for this year, again, I have several goals. I break them down into my 5 main routes, which is career/financial, mental, physical, relationship/emotional, and spiritual. And those are my 5 branches. But the 3 very specific goals that I'm working on, I actually made a vision board, old school style.
Yay!
By cutting out magazines.
Oh, I love it. That's awesome.
Really awesome.
It's a collage for those that are not watching. It's a beautiful collage. You should post it on our Instagram so people can see it.
Yes, I will post this. And the big focus is more income, more money, not only through my traditional job, but through another source as well. I also want to bring more money into my company, and I want to set it up to be successful. And so it isn't just more, because you could give me $1 and officially I've met my goal. I actually have a very specific goal to make my company $1 million company through work, to break 100K this year. So very, very specific goals. And then my writing. So I plan to submit my book to be published. Hopefully it'll be ready by the end of this month. But either way, I will submit it to be published, and I am seeking my first rejection letter because that's how it goes. And I'm going to collect those until I get a yes. And I'm very excited about that. And the last one is Jason and I, my partner and I, are going to start an Airbnb business. And those are the 3 main focuses, even though for this vision board, though I have probably 17 different goals that I'm trying to achieve right now.
That's so awesome. Yeah, your list was extensive, but I'm glad I saw your list first because it kind of helped me to get the wheels turning of how I want to break down mine as well. But I love your big 3. So it was the broad big 3 is make more money, finish your book and get published, seeking your first rejection letter, and Airbnb business. Those are your big 3?
Yep.
Awesome. Which the Airbnb business will also bring in extra income as well to help you break that 100K. And you totally will. Totally will. For sure. Yeah, that's so cool. Especially if you're also teaching yoga too. Like you have so many streams of income with your base salary, commission, Airbnb, yoga, and potentially your book. You're totally going to break 100K easily.
It's going to happen.
Awesome. Thank you. And can we see your vision board one more time?
Yes, you may.
I just want to look at it closer. That's so cute.
Getting rich.
What does the butterfly represent?
Transformation.
Cool.
Transformation. And one of the quotes that I wanted to put on here was, success is not the goal. Back to goals. Success is not the goal. Success is the process, the journey. It's the way you feel and the energy that is created on your way to whatever your goal may be.
Oh, that's beautiful. Cool. So mine, I had a lot of goals as well. And I was very specific with my goals. I also broke it out through spiritual, physical, my own business, plus the business I work for currently, and then self-help and growth, a personal goal that's different than business, spiritual, and physical, a relationship goal, and then serving. I didn't know how else to put it, but I want to have more of a service mentality this year and really help other people. And something I want to do, which is not actually in my big three, but something I really want to do is get involved in the anti-trafficking movement out here locally and then maybe globally. But there's nothing that makes me more angry than hearing about human and sex trafficking. And so it's been something that's been on my heart for years, and I finally want to do something about it. And so serve the community that way and help educating, the signs, and maybe help rescue people and help them heal. I'm not exactly sure, but I want to get involved because that's really important, and it's becoming a problem. It's been a problem and it's not getting better. So that was kind of serious, but that was important. And then my goals are very specific because I have to schedule them out to coordinate when Dan's going to watch the kids and things like that. And we won't go into all the details, but I'm really happy with what I came up with creating things on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. I will work out on Wednesdays and Fridays. I will be writing. But my big three is, and it was hard, and I technically have 4, but my actual 3 priorities is to finish Why Not, which is the book I'm working on. That was my goal last year that I did not meet. And so my goal for sure, 100% 2022, finish Why Not, seek that rejection letter for sure. And my second one is 3 streams of income, which will be my current job with Anderson Hicks Group, my drop shipping business. And then I can't decide if I'm going to do my speeches or YouTube, but either way, getting paid to talk. And then my third big 3 is to become debt free. And I wanted to say completely debt free, but Dan's school loans were very expensive. So I narrowed it down to debt free from credit cards and any other debts like our cars. So all of our debts except our student loans, because that's just going to take a lot longer. And I did not make an old-fashioned vision board because I didn't have any magazines. I got rid of all of my magazines when I moved, and I would have loved that because I love collages. And so what I'm going to do, I kind of drew it out, which is really sloppy, but it's just an outline. But this is going to be a cork board. And so then all of these things are going to be images that I pin on there. So every year I can change the year, I can change my big 3. Once I meet my big 3 on the cork board, I will put in my new 3 because I'm hoping that I'll meet these big 3 before the end of the year.
Cool. I love that. I have not thought about the cork board idea. That's really, really creative. I love everything that you said. I love the details and the step-by-step. How organized you are. I need that.
I have to be, or I won't I won't accomplish anything. I have to.
That was fantastic. I want to take a step back to what you said before you took off, and you mentioned service, and you mentioned specifically a a movement that is a little heavy and is a little serious, and not a little, a lot. And we can't always talk about the like warm, fluffy, happy things. And I love that you didn't just keep that to yourself, that you said, this is a problem. People need to know about it, and I'm going to get involved. And Anike, you actually have, I remember when we lived in Utah, you had a fundraiser for anti-trafficking. I remember that. And I remember being so impressed by your involvement in social issues and human rights issues. I think you're definitely the type of person that can enact change. And so I love that. And so I thank you for bringing that up as we talk about our goals. I think that's really important.
Thank you. That really means a lot. I feel like I am on the verge of tears because not because that was very nice, but it's just that this is so important, and it just like hurts my heart to hear of like these women and children that are abused and taken and sometimes never seen again. And I want it to stop. And so I want to really get involved. And I don't know if you guys knew this, or maybe you don't remember, but I 100% believe I almost got kidnapped in Germany when I was walking home from the Tier Park in Rauenberg. And I was mad at Benny, and I'm pretty sure it was just him and I, maybe Johanna was back there with him. And we were walking on the side of the street, and I was mad. So I was walking ahead. I was probably 20 feet ahead. So I looked like I was alone on the sidewalk. And a car came from the opposing side of the street and came onto my side. So he went onto oncoming traffic, drove up onto the sidewalk. And it was a dark car. He rolled down his window a little bit, and smoke was coming out, and I could just see these eyes. And as a little girl, I was just like, hi, because I didn't know, like, I was just trying to be nice. I was like, maybe he has mental illness. Like, and I was just going, hi. And he saw me, and he looked kind of creepy. And I just stood there, and he started to open the door as he looked at me. But then he saw Benny close the door and sped off. And I didn't think anything of it. And then I got home, and I was like, Mom, this weird thing happened. This guy did this. And she like freaked out, and she was like, oh my gosh, you do not walk ahead of your brother. And I'm really grateful that Benny was there, because I feel like he's always been kind of a guardian angel here on earth for us. I think there's really something special about him that helps protect people. But it was kind of scary, and I've reflected on that, and I think my life would have been very different if, and who knows, I mean, I guess I don't know 100%, but it definitely felt like that's what was about to happen.
No, trust your intuition, Anike. I love that you shared that story. Again, I know it's a heavy topic, but it needs to be talked about. I'm reading a book right now called The Gift of Fear, or Fear is a Gift. I forget the title, but it talks about your intuition and how people have kept themselves safe from, getting murdered or getting raped, or maybe they get raped, but then they don't get murdered. And it's trusting that fear and trusting that something is off, and you're not weird for thinking that you could have been kidnapped. I think on a very real level, you almost got kidnapped. And we have to share those stories, because all you did was walk ahead of your brother. That's all you did. And very easily you could be gone, and we'd never see you again. And so trust your intuition, bring awareness. It's incredibly important to talk about these things, even as they make us cry, even as they make us uncomfortable. Even if it changes the tone or the energy of the room, we must talk about these things. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you for understanding that importance. So when I get involved, I'll probably share, places that people can donate or read up and probably share the signs of things. I shared a video over the weekend of a lady who was being targeted at Forever 21 in Utah at the mall, and she was being targeted, and she felt silly and was like, nothing actually happened, but I felt like he was targeting us, and her story felt very real, and it was scary, and just really cool miracles happened that day for her. But she was like, I need to speak out, and I need you to know that like you need to be aware and not just be on your phone, like keep your kids close and not to be afraid. Like we don't want to live life in fear, but just be prepared and just be aware. So on another note, thank you for that. I'm excited for these goals. I'm excited to get involved in good causes, to serve people, to change myself, and to get out of debt, to make more money, to get my book published. Like I'm stoked for this year. And thank you so much for completing the dares. And Johanna, once you do your vision board, will you take a picture of it and show us?
You got it.
Awesome.
Yeah, she said she was going to do it digitally. Is that right?
Yep. So last year we came up with our goals, and Caden, being all tech savvy and creative, he created a collage on the computer, and he was so cute about it. One of my goals last year was I wanted to cook with Caden more often. So he found a picture of some guy cooking in the kitchen and replaced his face. Because I don't have a real picture of Caden cooking in the kitchen, so
That's awesome.
So that's just going to be our new tradition, just creating those together every year.
I love that.
Cool.
I also heard that you can use Canva to do that, and I know Anike, you're pretty well versed with that software. But yeah, there's several different apps that you can use to make your collage digitally. So I encourage, maybe you don't have magazines, maybe you're going to do a cork board, but I definitely encourage people to create a vision board, visualize your goals.
Yeah, and you can paint it, you can draw it out, you can just use writing and make it look organized and cool. You can, when the nice thing about doing it digital is you can also put it on your phone, because we look at our phone 1,000 times a day, and you can make that your home screen so that you're always looking at it. Even if you're not consciously looking at it, you still are looking at it because you have to look at your phone to get into your phone.
That is such a good idea. I don't know why I don't utilize that resource. Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah, that was Dan's idea. That's his vision board is on his phone, and he has a template and everything already on Canvas. So he just changes the photos for when he wants to change his goals. So yeah. So who's got the new dare this week?
Yeah, who has the new dare?
Bretagne.
Okay, so Anike, so thank you again for encouraging us to write our goals. I love this for us. So this is going to be really quick. The truth is, when is the last time you meditated?
Probably a few days ago. That's part of my spiritual goal, is to have kneeling prayer, scripture study, and meditation and yoga every day. So I probably meditated, if not yesterday, a couple of days ago, and it wasn't long. I haven't had like a long meditation in a while, but it's like I say a prayer and then I just sit with my eyes closed and breathe and try to like welcome answers.
Oh, good. So you have a meditation practice.
Kind of, but it's not, I want to get better at it. That's part of my goal.
Define meditation, because am I gonna shut down the room and go the whole time? Because I don't have time for that. But like yesterday, I decided to take a bath, and usually I bring a movie into the bathroom so that I can just, check out. But this time I decided to not do that, and gave me time to really think about a lot of things. Definitely like shower and bath time is a time that I meditate, but also in the mornings when I do study is a time for meditation. But like, what do you mean by meditation? Like, is it a type of yoga? Is it a type of study? Is it just deep thought?
Well, there are several different forms of meditation. And so it's allowing your mind to relax, and it's not absence of thought, but it's flow of thought without judgment. So if you are able to be in a relaxed state and allow thoughts and feelings to arise without judgment, you are in a state of meditation.
I didn't think about without judgment.
Yeah, I like that flow of thought without judgment. And I read recently that you can actually meditate while walking. There's like a standing and walking meditation. It does not have to be room dark, candles lit, music going, and you're going, you don't have to do that. That's just one form of doing it. So I like that broad definition, flow of thought without judgment. Awesome.
Yes. And Bruce Lee, you guys know I really love Bruce Lee. He used to walk in his garden, and that was his meditation. He would walk around with his arms behind his back, and he would just walk in his garden for an hour, 2 hours. And that was often his form of meditation.
That's awesome. When was the last time you meditated?
You
got to answer the truth too.
Okay. I meditated yesterday after a personal yoga practice, and I had such an epic day because of it. I got so much done, yet I was relaxed. I was in a state of service. I wanted to help. I wanted to clean the kitchen. I wanted to take my dog for a walk. I wanted to do all of these things. I wanted to work on the podcast. I wanted to do my vision board. I wanted to go to the gym. I wanted to get ready for work the next day. All these things that often would bring me stress and anxiety instead brought me joy and excitement. So the other part of the truth is, what is something you do every day that helps set the tone for your day? And I went ahead and brought meditation out first because I think meditation will do that for you, but I don't want to be the dictator of your life. And so maybe you don't want to start your day with meditation. Maybe you want to end your day with meditation. But what is something that you start your day with? And you don't have to answer this now. I want you guys just to think about it. It'll go into the dare. So the dare is, start your day intentionally by setting the tone. I encourage meditation. I also encourage motivational messages, but I will leave that up to you. What is something that you're going to do every day to set the tone for your day? And it only needs to be 10 minutes. It doesn't need to be an hour. For me, it's usually listening to a motivational message, but the goal is, the dare, if you choose to accept it, is once you commit to this thing, you need to do it 5 out of the 7 days this week.
Awesome. I accept this dare because part of my goal, it's not part of my big 3, but kind of is. It's like another big one, is to perfect my morning routine. And I like that you said it only has to be 10 minutes because I want to do, because some days I stay up late, things happen with kids or work or whatever. So I want to have 2 routines. I want to have a short routine that's 10 or 15 minutes. And then I want to have my regular routine that I'd like to do every day, which is about an hour and a half to 2 hours. I would like to wake up at 6 every day, maybe even 5:30. So yeah, so I love this. Thank you.
Me too. I think this is the word I was missing when I said one of my big 3 is consciousness. I really need to tie in and being intentional, because when I was trying to figure out my goals, one of the first things I wrote down was, I want my each day to have a purpose. I kind of feel like I have been running around a field and not scoring any goals. Just basically surviving. And so I have the basic stuff like stay alive, eat food, make sure my kids are happy and clean and dressed, maybe throw on a ABC song, get some education in there. But for the most part, I kind of feel like my days aren't super organized. And I think it's also something I need to work on mentally. I think I'm getting out of a funk, maybe postpartum depression. I don't really know, but I need to get out of a funk and get on with a purpose and goals and structure. And so having intention and waking up with intention and consciousness, I think will be great for me. So thanks for this dare.
You're
I
welcome.
love that. I'm going to send you a video, Johanna, by Jordan Peterson that talks about the root of most depression. And I think it will like hit the nail on the head for you, because it basically talks about, I forgot what the word, I want to say circadian rhythm, but that sounds wrong. Something 80 rhythm. But anyway, I'll send it to you, and he explains it perfectly. And it basically all narrows down to having a routine.
I would love that.
That's awesome. Well, I would also love that video. And I think that we should all encourage, as we go through this, today, trying to figure out how we want to start our day intentionally and implement it tomorrow. Also find time to meditate. So maybe that's not a part of your morning start, whether it's taking a bath without a movie, or brushing your hair for 10 minutes, whatever it may be. Find these moments of meditation, allowing yourself to freely think without judgment. I'm telling you, it will set the tone for your day. So with that, thank you so much for joining us. And we dare you to follow along and to explore yourself and to come up with a routine or an intentional start to your day as well. And feel free to share with the rest of us.
Yeah, thank you so much. We'll see you next week.
Okay, bye. Till then.